to seeing what he is able to produce come playoff time. All right. It's probably going to be his first playoff appearance. I want to see how he handles the pressure of New York on his shoulders to see if the Knicks are really going to be legitimately for real moving forward. I also have my eyes on Michael Porter Jr. Both two guys in my most improved player category top 5 list last week. I want to see what Michael Porter Jr. is able to do with him being the number 2 option now without Jamal Murray. How do teams play him? How does he respond? How does he adjust? I'm interested to see what MPJ does in the playoffs. And another guy I have my eyes on in the playoffs is LaMelo Ball. Rookie. Looks like he's going to get to the playoffs for the first time. He's in the play-in tournament. I want to see how he plays. How he's able to handle the pressure of having all eyes on him to see if the Hornets can actually make some noise in the playoffs. So those are my 3 guys that I'm looking to see make a breakout performance in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. We got the playoffs in a week and a half. We'll see what these young brothers do to make their claim for being breakout stars come playoff time. We're going to take a timeout, y'all. Get yourself to regroup and get yourself together. On the other side, I got the trivia question of the day, and I get you set and get you moving. We're moving the chains around the NFL. Y'all go ahead, get relaxed, get comfortable. This is the Playbook Podcast. I always wanted to make my own podcast, but I was reluctant because I felt like I needed all these different tools and gadgets and microphones and computers just to make it happen. But then I heard about the Anchor app, and it made it so easy to make my own podcast. Plus, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from the palm of your hand with your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey, what's happening, family? We're back inside the Playbook Podcast, y'all. It's a chill brother from another. I'm just trying to handle my biz so I can take care of my future kids, y'all. So, while me trying to take care of my future kids, I need you guys to go ahead and keep on following the Playbook Podcast. Y'all know, follow us on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on Spreaker, on Anchor, and all your other podcast platforms to continue to help us expand our horizons to meet the masses as we bring the barbershop to your podcast, all right? Listen, before we get into moving the chains, we got to go ahead and drop you guys that trivia question of the day. And this trivia question of the day is a little interesting, y'all. All right? So just go with me a little bit. So what is the official nickname of the New Zealand men's basketball team? Again, what is the official nickname of the New Zealand men's basketball team? This might make you laugh a little bit, y'all. So go ahead and prepare to chuckle just a little bit. Y'all go ahead, let that sit and marinate for a minute. And we're going to go ahead and cover that answer on the other side before we get into college basketball. So without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and move the chains. So, y'all, with moving the chains, man, we go to the National Football Association, y'all. And right now, we got a dicey situation in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers has put the Packers on notice. Listen, y'all, I'm ready to be traded. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back to Lambeau. I have no desire to come back to Lambeau. And I need a change of scenery. like tomorrow. And Aaron Rodgers put it out there like, I don't want to come back. And there's a couple of teams that could possibly be fine for tampering, in my opinion. You got the San Francisco 49ers and you got the Denver Broncos. Now, the San Francisco 49ers, they would make some sense. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has an affinity for going back home to LA. He went to Cal to play with the Bears. And San Francisco has always been his favorite team as a young boy. So it would almost be like a dream scenario for him to go to San Francisco. On the other hand, Denver is like, hey, you know, Indianapolis didn't want Peyton Manning anymore. And we got him another Super Bowl ring. So how come we can't do that with somebody like Aaron Rodgers? And they're monitoring the situation out in Green Bay. And listen, they do got some nice assets to throw out there to Green Bay. And right now it looks like the starting asking price for Aaron Rodgers is 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. I'm sorry. To me, he got to be at least worth 3 first-round picks in the second round. I mean, this guy is the NFL MVP right now, people. Yes, he's 37 years old. But I mean, if he's still doing it like this, I mean, you got to give him some more respect than that, right? And Denver is in desperate need of a quarterback. I mean, the weapons are there on the outside. You got Cortland Sutherland. You got Jerry Jeudy. You got Noah Fant. You got a couple of KJ Hamler as well. You got guys on the outside for Denver. And that's exactly the type of assets and weapons that Aaron Rodgers has been dying for in Green Bay. And there's nothing wrong with Devonta Adams. And he put out a nice little quote as well. You don't miss your water till your well runs dry. And honestly, this might be the case for Green Bay if they actually go ahead and trade Aaron Rodgers. And I know they got some eyes on a couple of free agents as well. But I mean, a nice consummate prize wouldn't be too bad of having someone like a Teddy Bridgewater and a Drew Lock under center for you. I mean, the quarterback competition would be pretty high. I mean, you got Drew Lock that would be looking to answer some questions on whether or not he's truly a starting quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater has been passed around more than a fast girl in high school over the last couple of seasons. And Jordan Love is still trying to find himself and see if he's actually ready for the big stage that is the NFL. So, I mean, the story writes itself out, people. And it looks like it's Denver or bust right now that has the tools necessary for a trade that Green Bay would actually like, in my opinion. I mean, imagine, y'all, how crazy the AFC West would be with the quarterbacks under center. Imagine a Aaron Rodgers, a Justin Herbert, a Derek Carr, and a Patrick Mahomes, all under center in the AFC West. Yo, that conference would be straight fire. Straight fire. Every single week. These teams going at each other twice a year. Yo, the AFC West would be hotter than fish grease, y'all. Seriously. Yo, we're going to have to monitor the situation and see if Green Bay is actually going to take the bait and go ahead and trade their future Hall of Fame quarterback. And if this is going to be another episode of an older quarterback, just like Brett Favre, getting out of town because Green Bay no longer wants him. I don't know, y'all. Same thing happened with Brett Favre when Aaron Rodgers was brung in. And now it looks like karma is coming back to bite Aaron Rodgers in the behind. Just saying. Just saying, yo. Speaking of quarterbacks, Philly got a young quarterback under center right now in Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been kind of getting the short end of the stick a little bit this offseason because, I mean, he don't have a lot of action, if you will. He don't got a lot of proof in the pudding right now. Got a new coach in Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia. But it looks like young brother has been putting in work with the playbook and orchestrating different off-season activities for his weapons like Miles Sanders and a couple of other young wide receivers for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. He's ready to bring the Hurt Business to the city of brotherly love. And if you're familiar with WWE, the Hurt Business just got dismantled for whatever dumb reason. But I digress in regards to that. They were the hottest thing in wrestling. Their group anyway. But Jalen Hurts is ready to bring some hurt to the NFL. He got quarterback coach, the same quarterback coach that helped Patrick Mahomes become the phenom that he is now. So I'm interested to see how Jalen Hurts performs for Philadelphia. I still don't believe Philadelphia is going to be any good this season. I mean, they still have a lot of work to do. And I still feel like it's the Washington football team's division to lose. Yes, the New York Giants have made some consummate moves this all season, getting Kenny Golladay from the Detroit Lions. They got a couple of guys in the draft. They got the guy from Florida, the wide receiver from Florida. They got Darius Slay on the outside as well. New York made some moves. The New York football Giants made some moves. But I still don't think they're on the same level of the Washington football team. And by the way, y'all need to figure out what y'all name is going to be. I mean, seriously. It's been almost 2 years, y'all. Y'all got rid of the Redskins name because it was a little bit too touchy to Native Americans, and that's a long time coming in regards to that. Y'all need to figure out what y'all name's going to be, because y'all got this generic name, and everybody's tired of keep calling y'all, including myself, the Washington football team. My pop can attest to this. He's ready because he's a Washington fan. He's ready for our name, y'all. So y'all go ahead and get yourself together and figure out what y'all name's going to be. We tired of calling y'all Toby. Your name ain't Toby. Figure out what y'all name's going to be in Washington. Okay? Okay. All right. I got to get that out of my system, y'all. I'm sorry. All right. Let's talk about these rookies. We just had the NFL draft a couple of weeks ago. We had some rookies that we're expecting to make a splash and those that probably are going to crash. So I call this segment Splash or Crash. Some of these rookies are going to make a splash right in the NFL immediately, right? And there's going to be some guys that are struggling to find their way to get going around the NFL. So I got my guys that are going to splash. I believe are going to make a splash. This is easy. Trevor Lawrence is going to make a huge splash in the NFL. All right. I mean, he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, Gardner Minshew, he had his magic here and there, but you don't bring in Urban Meyer as your coach and then draft a guy like Trevor Lawrence if you're not expecting him to start from day one. And the Jags, they're expecting a big impact out of Trevor Lawrence, and I am too, right? I mean, you got some guys, got some nice weapons on the outside. He's going to be a solid quarterback. I mean, I don't know about superstar level. I got to see more. In the ACC, he didn't have to face a whole lot like some guys in the SEC or the Big Ten. So I got to see what Trevor Lawrence is really, really working with. I feel like I got 3/4 of what Trevor Lawrence is, but I'm still expecting him to make a big splash in the NFL right away. Another guy that I'm expecting to make a big splash is Micah Parsons for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, he took a year off from Penn State due to COVID, but this guy on the tape, I mean, sideline to sideline speed, gets after it. He's going to make a ton of plays for a Dallas defense that is tremendously in need of help on that side of the ball. I mean, last season they gave up so many yards. I mean, they were just giving up everything. It was almost like they kept mooning the other offense to just go ahead and score on us. Whatever you want to do, just have your way with us. That's exactly how Dallas was on defense all last season. So Micah Parsons, I'm expecting him to make a huge impact on the Dallas Cowboys defense to get them to at least mediocre maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Some guys that I'm expecting to maybe crash a little bit, though. And honestly,